Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better life. Just know that love and joy and peace is one in all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. That's right. I'll give my sanity. Only you can make the change. I'll give my share. Your head and your shine so bright from darkness to light. Hey, hey, hey. From darkness to light. Yeah. And you'll find your way out. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it won't seem way out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The power of God will flow through you from way out.
Welcome. This is Alchemizing Energy. I'm your host, DJ Genesis, and today we are going to delve into a subject that most people try to avoid. They might feel like it might be creepy or whatever, but I think it's a pretty interesting subject. How did a child's play toy become a way to pretty much summon the dead and talk to the dead? We're going to get into not only Ouija boards. Hey, welcome. Thank you, YS Miller. Peace. How did a child's toy that they came out with turn into a way of contacting the other side? And how is this also being used in prison? Is it real? Is the contact a real thing? What is really happening here? So I just decided, what? Everybody else is talking about other subjects, Ray J and, all the latest BS. But I said, what? Let me just go into something that people might not be really thinking about, I don't like to do what everybody else is talking about, all the time. Sometimes I like to just delve off into a subject matter that nobody's thinking about. And this is actual people that are fooling around with Ouija boards, right? Now, anybody knows, Black folks know we don't fool around with that type of stuff. But let's get into it. Why are there Black people in prison fooling around with this, right? How does a Ouija board even end up in a prison cell? Well, first, we're going to go into the history of Ouija boards, and then we're going to get into the story of a prisoner that's in prison that actually ended up getting one and the things he encountered. This is going to be a very interesting live stream today. If you're looking for something different to get into, to find out about, if you're getting tired of all the regular conversation, this is going to be a very interesting topic. Let's go.
Around Ouija boards and spirit boards, we must take a look at automatic writing. If you've ever seen people channel spirits writing down on pen and paper and it looks like a bunch of odd scribbles, then you yourself have seen automatic writing. If you've ever seen anything involving the psychic twins, then you've definitely seen it. It's the idea that a spirit is using the writing tool and sometimes the person as a conduit for communication. This takes us to China in the Ming Dynasty, where Ouiji, or known as planchette writing, was created. In this form of divination, the user guides a stick, writing Chinese characters in sand or the ashes of incense. This was just one of the first few means of communication with the dead that's documented, but I believe it important to discuss due to the whole nature of planchette writing and how a planchette is a focal part of the Ouija board. Now, spirit boards are not a new phenomena before our aforementioned name brand we're discussing today, because in the 19th century in America, there's something called the spiritualist movement happening. This was just a few years behind Europe, but it took like wildfire in America, and it's based on two simple things. One, that after death, the person is still in the state of existence and can be contacted by the living, and that the afterlife is a place where the spirits keep evolving and interacting. So why not open the door for them to just come through? And I think this was really easy to overtake in America because it follows Christian dogma. You would have a seance on Saturday night and have no conflicting thoughts or feelings about going to church in the morning. It was absolutely, completely normal, commonplace to people to have seances and automatic writing and have table turning parties.
But it's interesting. You say it's demonic, but here's the thing. This was a child's toy. This was at one point just like Monopoly. People used to get these things for their children. This used to be a kid's toy. And then I guess people found out hey, it's a little bit more to it than that. So let's get into it.
which participants would place their hands on a small table and watch it begin to shake and rattle. Following the Civil War, psychic businesses boomed with this thought of people being able to easily contact their lost relatives, and this led to instant gratification for these grief-stricken people, and this would lead to us needing innovation. It was not convenient to go pay and see a psychic and try to book in, or have all your friends show up, hold hands, light candles, and try to do this whole seance situation. This needed instant gratification. It needed innovation. It needed this Zoom call or the FaceTime of the dead. We could not be holding seances every night. In 1886, the fledgling Associated Press reported a new phenomenon taking over the spiritualist camps in Ohio: the talking board. It was at its very core a Ouija board, it just didn't have its name attached yet. It had letters and numbers and used a planchette-esque device to point to them, and it was widespreading and very quickly. According to Robert Murch, the frontrunner and lead historian of Ouija and talking boards, who we quite literally would not have almost any of the information we have about Ouija without him and the entire association surrounding the preservation and history of Ouija boards, so shout out to them, absolutely. It was one of the 4 investors, Elijah Bond, an attorney's sister-in-law, Helen Peters, who is considered a strong medium, who was the one who named the now famous board. The story goes that they were all sitting around the board asking it what its name should be, and it spelled out Ouija, and then they asked what that meant, and it just went to good luck. Odd and puzzling, but Peters did acknowledge herself was wearing a locket with a photo of a woman with the name Ouija above her head, which, makes it a lot less odd and puzzling. That's at least the story that came from the Ouija founders' written letters. It's very possible that the woman in the locket was famous author and popular women's rights activist Buddha, whom Peters admired, and that Ouija was just a misreading of that. So they now had their own branded spirit board as Ouija, so they went down to the patent office and...
So how much of this is really like just hocus pocus and just people just kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of time, people, oh, that's demonic. See, people jump to that conclusion, but how much of this is a real thing and how much of it is just us spooking our own self out? Let's go.
They had one thing they had to do to actually get a patent. They had to prove that the Ouija board worked. So they brought down Helen, their psychic medium, with him, and the patent guy said, "There's one thing you must do to me. You must be able to tell me what my name is from this board." So they sat there, and the Ouija board successfully spelled out this patent officer's name that was unknown to Helen.
What?
Keyword is I said it was unknown to Helen. Whether or not it was a mystical spirit or the fact that Bond, a patent attorney himself, may have just known the man's name, well, that's between the spirits and them. But on February 10th, 1891, a visibly shaken patent officer awarded Bond a patent for his new toy or game, the Ouija board. Now, believe it or not, the first patent office actually didn't require them to explain anything, so the Ouija board was kind of made and put out with absolutely no direction, no instructions, no rules, or just even a how to use guide. And I think even if it was conscious or unconscious, the ambiguity and mystery aspect of this board, that who knows how it works, but it absolutely works, was a great selling point for the Ouija board, whether they ever meant it or not. Now, as I just said, they didn't really have any rules, and now if you buy one, it has a manual, but there are a few traditions or so-called rules that have been created as a whole for people that play the board. So let's go through a few, and with that, play Ouija boards at your own risk. You will meet plenty of people that say they're real and plenty of people that don't. Do your own information. Do as you will, but let's get into it. I'll start with myself, that I myself as a child, because I have not played one in years, because frankly no one wants to play one with me. When we used to play, we had to go in a circle clockwise 3 times to open the board to get the spirits warmed up, and that we would also do it the opposite way closing, which...
First of all, how do kids get something like this in their house? Like, how do they get this? Like, how are children playing with this? Like, how did they get one of these things? And why is it that kids are playing around with this? It's crazy. Let's go.
I think people say is like starting and closing a circle in that pagan magic way, but we always did that. And of course you have to say goodbye, and you must be wary of the Ouija board demon Zozo, which we will fully be getting into that fictitious tale at the end. But there really is just absolutely so much conflicting information on how to play a Ouija board when you look online and even in manuals themselves. Some say never play alone, or that you can play alone, never light candles, or actually you should light black candles because they'll keep negativity away. I saw a ton of people saying, never play in your house or never don't play in your house. So, it seems like, once again, something that was put into the universe with no explanation on how to do anything. It takes legs of its own and everyone knows what's right and what's wrong. And we come into this, weird slew of a mess. But that same exact year they would get that patent in 1891, the first few advertisements started appearing in papers. Ouija, the wonderful talking.
What's so weird about this is that, that the patent office, if there's anything that is more than 20% accurate, that is actually used by the U.S. military, you have to actually submit it. So I don't know, but I think that this came out way before they had that rule, but let's go.
Aboard, and it took off. By the next year in 1892, the Kenner Novelty Company went from one factory in Baltimore to two in Baltimore, two in New York, two in Chicago, and one in London. And that following year, two of our main original four founders, Kennard and Bond, were both completely out, citing that money changed people and things involving the company. So now we are down two founding members. Around this time, a man, William Fuld, who'd gotten in on the company as an employee and stockholder, was running the said Ouija company. In 1898, with the blessing of Bowie, the majority shareholder, and one of the only two remaining original investors, he licensed the exclusive rights to make the product. After this was just absolutely booming years of business for William, and of course public frustration from the original founders, who actually took to the paper to call the drama. To be fair, William now owned the company and was the only one producing said branded Ouija board, but he was going around saying he founded the Ouija board, which technically didn't. But they took to the papers complaining about him and even tried starting up their own rival boards that absolutely went nowhere. In 1919, Bowie sold the remaining business interests of Ouija to William for $1, less than the cost of the board itself. And this whole general idea of spirit boards was just spreading. Of course, Ouija has always been the forefront, always will be the forefront, but there were plenty of people who got absolutely interested into this. And one person in particular was actually the renowned occultist Aleister Crowley. He was very fond of the usage of the Ouija board to the point that this same year, 1990, he was attempting to create and produce his own, which unfortunately never came to fruition. But can you imagine how insane and trivial a Ouija board would have been from Aleister Crowley? He would have been like, you have to call corners, you have to make the circle, you need 3 people doing it in the middle, you need a cup of cat blood that you have to make a guy drink and then he dies, because Aleister Crowley did make a guy drink a cup of cat blood and that guy died from it. But that's besides the point. We're talking Ouija. The board's immediate success, and now more than 120 years later standing legacy, showed that it had tapped into a perfectly odd niche place in American culture. It was advertised as a conduit to speak to the dead, but also a family-friendly, fun pastime for kids. It was literally like, go play with marbles or go play with the Ouija board. Leave me be. But then there were other people who, someone went off to war and died and would run and get one and go home to try to speak to their dead husband as quickly as they could. It exists in this in-between of existence that is just absolutely perfect for this time in America. This actually led to the biggest hater of the Ouija board to be spiritualist mediums, because the middleman to the afterlife is essentially completely cut out now. Why pay for a medium or to come host a seance at your home if you could just talk to the dead yourself? You can walk down to the store for, at this time, probably like $3 and just do it at home yourself. There was no reason to have psychics around. Robert put it perfectly. People want to believe. The need to believe that something else is out there is powerful. This thing is one of those things that allows them to express that belief. And it wasn't just sunshine and rainbows before the later horror implication of the Ouija board. There's always been people denouncing it as, evil place. And of course, what is there better than something that says explicitly this is a spiritual force and it is technically legally recognized as such, than something you can blame a murder on? Now, believe it or not, there have been a slew of murders tied to Ouija boards, and that Ouija boards told them to do it, but the earliest one on record can find is from 1930, and it is about a very scandalous love triangle. In March of 1930, Cloth-Eyed Marchard, the wife of a New York sculptor, Henry Marchard, answered a knock on her door. where she was met with a hammer to the skull. And when the blows didn't prove fatal, she had a chloroform-soaked rag shoved down her throat. Now, why the hell would this happen? Somewhere else, just a little bit before this attack took place on Clothide, there are two women sitting across from each other with their fingers on a planchette sitting on a Ouija board. A tribal spiritualist, Nancy, and Clothide's close friend, Lila. But it wasn't mystic spirits from beyond the grave or even her dead husband telling Nancy that Clothide's the one that did it. It was Lila. Lila said her friend Clothide killed Nancy's husband. Why? For the simple fact that Lila was having an affair with Clothide's husband, Henry. Using the board to manipulate her friend to murder, using the fresh trauma of her husband's murder, she believed she could remove the obstacle to win Henry's heart, his wife. Lila's plot didn't go quite as intended. During the trial, after which Lila and Nancy would both go free, Henry would testify that he had too many lovers to count. Henry would go on to testify that he had too many lovers to count. And after this, would go on to marry his dead wife's 18-year-old niece.
What?
Wish the
hell is going on? This history of this, listen. When I put together this show, I did not see this beforehand. I am reacting right along with you to this. I'm gonna play a little bit faster on this because, wow, that's crazy.
Ouija board would have told you that, huh? Lila would go on to be acquitted completely, and Nancy would only serve a single year for manslaughter. These women quite literally murdered a completely innocent woman who didn't know her friend was sleeping with her husband, and they had to face no consequences about it at all. Back to believing, with wanting to
see, here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. What about the manipulation that could happen? I think that people, they get so spooked out about something. This is the thing about spookism, right? That you don't even know if someone is actually manipulating, pushing or pulling this thing to say certain things, or if it's actually really like moving on its own. And let's also talk about the Ouija board of today, which is AI. You know, people are using AI, and AI is making people go absolutely insane. There are people that are typing stuff in the AI. They get to like getting too close to AI. Next thing you know, it's telling AI, because it's a sycophant, it's telling to do all type of wild stuff. You know, and I think that this Ouija board is like an earlier form of an AI thing where it's being manipulated. Let's go.
Just believe in something. It makes complete sense that Ouija board sales skyrocket after horrible events take place. After the devastations of World War I and the full swing of Prohibition and the early approaching Great Depression, you couldn't keep Ouija boards on the shelf, to the point that during the Great Depression, the Fold Company opened new factories to meet demands for the boards. Over 5 months in 1944, a single department store in New York sold 50,000 Ouija boards. I don't think you can really objectively, because I really can't.
So why would 50,000 people want to grab something that is like, this is weird. Like, this is how the culture, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like Cabbage Patch Kids, we followers, okay? Followers. You hear a terrible story. People like that are weird and sadistic go out and buy the thing that they heard that killed somebody. Let's go.
I'm trying to. 50,000 boards. The thought of wanting to have an answer is one of the most human needs, especially for things that are uncertain, like existence, what's going to happen, just everything surrounding that. It makes so much sense to have a tool of reassurance. Some people nowadays will pick up prayer beads, but at this time people were picking up Ouija boards because these were seen as factual devices. In 1967, the year after Parker Brothers bought the game from the Fold Company, 2 million boards were sold, outselling Monopoly. That same year, Americans saw more troops sent to fight in Vietnam. The count
2 million Ouija boards, outselling Monopoly, guys. What does that say about our culture? It's a lot of spooky people in here, and it's a lot of like people that's probably witches and stuff that people don't even realize. You know what I'm saying?
Our culture of the hippie summer of love in San Francisco, and race riots in New York, Detroit, Minneapolis, and Milwaukee. There's a desperate desire for some sort of higher being affirmations that the Ouija was easy to provide. And as I've mentioned and touched on throughout this entire video about how Ouija for decades and years was just seen as a goofy little pastime. It started losing its kind of, you know, mystical entity where people were like, it's a gag game you play. Like in I Love Lucy hosting a little fake funny seance where her and her husband, who I can't remember his name, are like tricking each other that, the psychic's real and stuff. Like, it became very goofy to have a Ouija and play with it. But obviously, as you know now, that connotation absolutely changed. So what happened? What made the Ouija board a conduit of evil and necromancy and a way to touch Satan himself? There is one easy thing to point to, and it is painstakingly clear that it is William Peter Blatty's The Exorcist. If you've not seen the film The Exorcist, go watch it. But a demon named Pazuzu possesses a young girl named Reagan after playing with a Ouija board. And this, I don't think anyone would ever anticipate the absolute cultural shift in spirit boards, talking boards, even occultism as a whole that The Exorcist held onto the nation. This was almost an overnight flip on the entire situation as a whole. If you saw my Exorcist video that, doesn't exist anymore, then you would know it was the second highest box office grossing film. The Exorcist was so widespread as a film, and even people that didn't see it talking to each other. So individuals seeing the evil surrounding a Ouija board know new bounds. It started making regular constant appearances in horror media and had religious groups denouncing the use of it as a tool of the devil. The same people who, say, a decade ago would go to their friends' houses, hold hands, chanting and begging for the dead to contact them. But what is any sort of religion without hypocrisy? Parker Brothers, and later Hasbro, after they acquired Parker Brothers in 1991, still sold hundreds and thousands of them. But the reason people were buying them had changed drastically. Ouija boards were now scary rather than spiritual, with an edge of possible danger, but they definitely come to embrace their spooky identity. The board has completely adapted with this identity, even going on to do that official Ouija board branded movie, which I didn't watch, but seems like it's like fine. And they even do all these, branded boards. They did an Exorcist branded board. Like, the Ouija board knows what it is, and it kind of just rocks with it. Because
I mean, do y'all think that the Ouija board is real though? Welcome to the show, Creative Solutions.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I was young when I first joined the service, and I was going through school to learn my job and my trade. And, being 18, 19, we were all bored, and we were looking for some type of excitement that didn't cost a lot of money. So we went ahead and we bought the Ouija board.
Y'all bought the Ouija board. I didn't know black people fucked around with shit like that. What the hell? We doing this?
It wasn't just, it was me and a whole bunch of other girls.
Not the black folk. I thought that we knew better than to fool around with the dead and then be contacted. What happened, child? Oh Lord! You say it's real. You say it's real. I'm kind of skeptical. I think that people be like pushing the thing and making it say stuff.
It's real, and it opens up another door. So basically, we was on there, and every question we asked the Ouija board, that it answered the questions and it gave us the truth.
Well, how do you know it wasn't the other person answering the question or pushing it, right?
No. We answered questions that nobody else would know. Only the one person would know.
Oh.
And they gave us the truth. So, as we say here, it's the same thing as a pendulum. Come on, DJ Genesis. I thought you were spiritual. All this shit is true.
No, I do like I do know divination, right?
Okay.
So I do like cowrie shells, but that's really based in a system. Even tarot is based on Kabbalah, but whether you guys know it or not, tarot is part of the Kabbalah. Like, if you guys don't know what the Kabbalah is, that is ancient Jewish mysticism. That's where tarot comes from. The cowrie shells used to be a form of like currency, and then it was the first form of actual divination. But a Ouija board just came out in 1800. So I'm just trying to figure out, okay, how did this thing,
the 1900s,
spiritual, the 1800s,
so
yeah, and it was like something that people invested in. There was like a whole like corporate thing around it.
Oh gosh.
So I'm trying to figure out, how did the spirit get into it? Or maybe it's just the fact, I don't know, that enough people believe in something and it becomes real.
It's real. I'm telling you, it's real. All right.
So tell me the story about what happened. I gotta hear this story. I'm sorry. Tell me what happened, child. I'm interested.
You got me invested. We was just out there, a late night. We lit a candle, and it was like 4 or 5 of us, and we was just asking questions. And one girl was asking, she asked the board, what did I see when I was 7 years old? And it said she saw I don't know if we can say it, but she saw something bad happen to a woman with another man. You guys already know what that is. And only she knew it, and it said that to her. It said exactly what she saw. And she was creeped out, and she said, I'm not playing with this shit anymore. But I'm gonna just say it is true. It opens a door. If you don't know what you're doing, you should not play with it. And you're inviting something else in. Just remember that we live on different planes of existence. So the spirits that are around you, or the ones that are trying to reach out to you, or trying to exact revenge, or whatever you may have in your family lineage, whatever. Once you play with that Ouija board, you opening up that door.
So did anything happen after that would make you feel like some things attached to you guys after that?
No, we didn't pay attention to it. We just played with it. It is what it is, and we went on with our day. We didn't see any demonic or nothing like that. We wasn't looking for those type of experiences. So nothing like that.
How to close it out, whatever. Did y'all know how to close it out to make sure the spirit didn't leave the board or whatever? You're supposed to open it up a certain way and close it out a certain way. Huh?
Yeah, you're supposed to say goodbye. And then you're also supposed to light candles, and supposed to say a protection ritual before you do play with the Ouija board. And then you're supposed to have protection on you and say protection afterwards.
So y'all knew to do that beforehand. Y'all just
we
knew
did not know. We were kids. But if I was to do it now, I would have a lot of I would come in there with a lot of armor, and if I was to play with the Ouija board or use it, as if I wanted to.
Man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But let's hear. This guy's gonna talk. Are Ouija boards real? Let's go into it. Tell me to pause it when you want to say something, a comment.
All right, go ahead.
Well, let's go.
Board. The idea is it's not your hands moving the thing around, but it's demons basically. It's moving the.
Right.
Did it work?
So it's funny because my first encounter with the Ouija board was my mom used to have them as a prop for Halloween. No one played with it. It was just one Halloween parties, and she'd just have the Ouija board there, and it would just be a prop, right? And I think one of the first times I remember using it, and it wasn't like I did this hundreds of times. It was maybe a handful of times, 70 times. And so the first time it worked was I was at a friend's house. It was, I think, 8th grade summer or something, 8th grade summer. And there was a group of us at this girl's house.
Let me just tell y'all, people going over a friend's house, watch out who they be going over their house. Because who is even letting kids play with this thing? What, even in your situation, what mama was like, oh yeah, y'all, just
girl, I was away from home. I had joined the service.
Oh, it was in the military, just full grown as hell, doing crazy shit.
If you think about it, teenagers, they want curiosity. They want to see what will happen. They just, they like the unpredictable.
I didn't even used to like to do the whole Bloody Mary look in the mirror bullshit. Everybody say Bloody Mary 3 times, look in the mirror and all that bull. I wasn't playing with none of that growing up. I'm not looking in the damn mirror saying no Bloody Mary. Remember that?
Yeah,
Bloody Mary supposed to show up in the mirror and all that. Hell no. Candyman, none of that shit.
And it was Candyman also.
Was Candyman a New York thing? Was that like a real story?
Candyman was the Chicago thing. That was in Chicago.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, those projects and all that stuff happened in Chi-Town. Yeah.
Was it a real story? I wasn't.
It was based on a story. Yeah.
It was a real true story of Candyman?
It wasn't true per se. They tried to make it into a story, but people were living in those buildings and they knocked those buildings down. So,
Okay. Because a lot of this lore that be in horror movies be some stuff that really kind of happened. It might not have been really like Candyman, but it might have been some weirdo just going around killing people in the projects, and they came up with this whole thing called Candyman, So that's how, that kind of lore begins to infest our communities with the fear, But let's go. Let's hear what he said.
It was a group, maybe 5 or 6 was playing it.
Go ahead.
You're Borging a little bit.
I'm Borging out?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, so when she leaves and she comes back, oh yeah. They said, oh, she talking about the Cabrini Green. Yeah, that was in Chi-Town. That the Candyman stuff was in Chi-Town. And basically it was these old project buildings, and I think they was gonna knock them down. It had like a big history of what happened there, and they made a big story about it. But yeah, this stuff is real. The Ouija board is real, and even your cell phone, even being on YouTube, that's a portal also in itself.
Yeah, they say the cell phone is a scrying device. Like it's scrying.
Yes.
Like a black mirror. If you guys don't know what a black mirror is, it's scry. If you turn the actual phone off, what are you looking into? A black mirror.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that is scrying. So yeah. Your cell phone, believe it or not, is a scrying device, which is weird because if you ever notice that, you'll be thinking something sometime and it'll pop up on your phone.
Yes, yes. The phone, you could use the phone as a divination also. You know, if you're looking for a message, sometimes a video will pop up and it will speak to you.
Man, listen, I do the same thing. You know how what comes up to me is tarot card readings. Like I'll be thinking about something, and then all of a sudden, all these tarot readings about the subject I'm thinking about will come up, and I'm like, "What the hell?"
There you
That's
go.
the part that creeps me out is the tarot readings that be on the subject I'm going through. Have you ever been at that experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all this stuff. I think that the veil is getting thinner. Okay. So fooling around with stuff like a Ouija board, there's a thing you know about the veil, right? The veil
Yeah.
between like
I'm
different
revealing.
multiple.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm into all that stuff. I'd be scared to like really get into it too deep because I want people to think I'm crazy. But at the same point, we're at the point now. Well, fuck it.
I would say this: if you want to use the Ouija board, just use a pendulum and ask yes or no questions, and it's just as effective.
And not as creepy. We're just
Exactly.
gonna say some old wild shit. Let's go.
And it starts to move. Now, everyone's first reaction is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Everyone's no, I swear, no, I promise, no. Everyone's denying. I know it's not me. The thing starts to move. People start getting freaked out. And me again, I'm challenging this stuff. I think it's a joke.
Yeah.
Because even though I think like, oh, it really is moving on its own at this point now, but I'm like asking it stupid questions, like, oh, if you're real, show your face, and stuff like that.
Oh, damn,
and so it starts to move and people will start getting freaked out. So it was like me, and I think it was like 2 or 3 other girls and another guy. They said, and they start saying, so one of them said, you have to ask it if you can leave. Like I heard, you can't just, or leave the door open. You have to ask if you're allowed to leave.
What?
So they said, can I leave? And it goes, yes. Can I leave? Yes. And so next thing I know, it's just me and this one girl. And she says, can I leave? And it says, no. So she.
Holy shit. So, hold on. Listen, you have to ask the board, can you leave?
Yeah, these people don't know what they doing. They set in the boundaries. That's the thing that that's why I said you are God in walking form. And that's the way you have to operate. Because if you don't operate like that and you're scared, like spirits and other things will take advantage of you. How you gonna ask another spirit that's not even in flesh, and you're in
Can
flesh
you
and you could
leave?
walk and move if you could leave? The audacity of it all.
The audacity of that spirit. Honey, get out of here with that. Now, it might knock some shit down in the house and be fucking with you a little bit if you don't do it right or whatever, but just pay it some homage and just go on ahead and go. You know what I'm saying? Well, much respect to whatever the fuck that is. But anyways, let's go.
She goes to try, and she's like, can I leave? No. And it goes, no. And she just freaked out and she just ran off. And I was sitting there and just laughing.
So it wasn't you moving it.
Mm-mm.
And so you could say, well, maybe it's this girl just wants to, spend more time with you.
Yeah.
You say, okay, I'm going to move it to say no.
Yeah.
But she gets very freaked out and then she leaves.
No, it was genuine fear. Like she was like, oh my gosh, I said no. She just like freaked out and she left. So that was like the first time I saw something come from it. And then years later, I played it. Back when I was getting really into the DMT, I had one and I was with one of my friends. And this guy was, he was a very stoic kind of guy. He wasn't a type of guy to like get scared easily. Like me and him used to, do all types of crazy stuff together. He wasn't the type of guy to play into.
Let me tell you something. DMT is actually a form of plant medicine because they're using plants to like tap into the DMT. They're probably using ayahuasca or some form of like that. And DMT is actually like that is the chemical that releases in your brain right before you die. So that's weird to be mixing DMT and Ouija. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like what?
Yeah. They be
living on the edge. I'm sorry, these white people. I'm sorry, y'all. My white brothers and sisters, y'all be living on the edge.
I mean, yeah, I've done ayahuasca, but I never did it with a whole DMT. I did it with like a whole ceremony. I respect.
That's how it's supposed to be done. But when
you gotta respect the plant medicine.
They don't even go have a ceremony. Ain't no shaman there to make sure that they okay. Like, and you can take that shit and come back and be fucked up, like mentally, like because if you imagine you're going into like different realms and stuff, you have to have. Listen, don't just take DMT, guys. Just don't do that. Like these people are crazy. Like, why would you take DMT? Like, and then don't just take it pure. Like, do it through ayahuasca, and you have you don't want to just be shot into the universe. You know what I'm saying? Did you do it through? You did ayahuasca, and that triggered your DMT, right? And you know,
I did. Yeah,
was it not smooth?
Yeah, it was a smooth transition. It helps you throw up and you go through things inside of it. It was a good experience, I would say, overall, and you still feel the effects afterwards.
Yeah,
you feel like it's serene, it's so relaxed and magical. I think it was.
Have you ever did the combo? Have you ever did the frog medicine?
No. You did that?
No, they were doing it. I could have done it, but honey, the way that they was looking after they was doing it, I was like, God damn, like they look fucked up. Like they was in pain and looking crazy. I'm like, well, oh hell no.
It's supposed to detox you. That's why.
Man, child throwing up so hard, like they was throwing. And I was just the person there to hold the throw up bucket, And honey, they was throwing up super. I'm like, damn, you already did the throw up for the ayahuasca. You don't do more throwing up, like harder. Ain't even. I mean, is y'all even dehydrated or not already from that? Like, because the ayahuasca ceremony lasts about 8 hours or more, and now you're gonna double that back with some frog medicine. Like, no, that's too much. I was like, no, I'm good. Y'all doing too much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I did it with what's his name? I forget his name. Cabri Healing. I did an interview with him. He's also the one who with Erykah Badu that did her ceremonies for ayahuasca. She at one point was doing ayahuasca ceremonies and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Erykah Badu. It's the same guy, but I had did it before she was doing it with him, and yeah, it was awesome. It was beautiful. Like he was really, entertaining. Because. He was playing and when he like a monkey at one point, a frog, or he changed shape. I thought I was walking through sand. It was I was like, this is pretty fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? it was fucking amazing. I was like, this is, and I did get to deal with a lot of inward stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I found out later? My godmother, she's a shaman. And she does the inking method, but they don't use plant medicine, but you could just use sound and do the same thing. Do you know that? I did a show with 607 Unk, and he went to my godmother, and he was able to experience the sound, the sound bath, so that was really good too. So
sound baths are, what? They have that out here too. I need to try the sound bath.
Yeah, because that's all this is. It's all based in sound, the whole universe. And we're all really plasma and this, that, the other. And so sound a lot of the things you see, I believe all these pyramids and things that they're finding was really made using sound. That's why they can't explain how they were created, but that's a whole nother live stream. Let's not get off subject. Let's get back to the Ouija board. Let's go.
And to get scared about stuff like this. It's just me and him, and we start playing. And like I said, I lived on that battlefield, and so we start asking a thing that starts moving. I didn't even need to ask. I knew it wasn't him. He knew it wasn't me. He starts moving, So we're asking him multiple questions, and I start asking him like, well, when am I gonna die? When? And it gives me a number, and it says from an overdose. It's 37 from an overdose. Then he asked it, and it gave him a number, and it gave him it said, I think, like heart failure or something, heart attack or something. To this day, that friend is scared. He called me literally like last year. He said he freaked out. And this is 2012, 2013. I mean,
why would you ask that when you're gonna die? First of all, don't do that, guys. Because let me tell you something about see, even spell work and things like this is really based on your ability to believe in what it's saying. So the moment you ask that question, you set up in your mind that this is going to be true, and therefore you create a fear within your own self. People have to understand even witchcraft itself is really about your inward thoughts. It's really about what you think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a tool. That's all it is. It's a tool to empower yourself. And that's how you have to utilize it.
Yeah, like when you think someone put a spell on you, okay, then where you need to work on your thoughts. Because to think someone's more powerful than you to put something on you, that's a big thing right there too. Let's go.
To this day, he's still afraid of that. He still thinks that's going to happen.
Yeah, of course. How old are you?
I'm 30. Yeah.
Are you scared?
No, because I think the blood broke the curse. So, but I think that it would have happened. I think that was the intention. I think that was the plan for my life, maybe, but he still thinks that, like, he called me actually like a year ago or something. He said, dude, I only have a year left, if that, like, he thinks it's going to happen.
Right, because demons can't read your mind. Demons are not God. Demons are not omniscient or anything like that. But they are pretty good observers of behavior. And so based on the behavior that you were exhibiting for a long time, it may have been a perfectly reasonable inference to say, oh yeah, you'll die at 37 from a drug overdose.
Yeah, 100%.
So why are you doing, because people tell me this, they say, oh yeah, I'd play with Ouija boards and crystals and weird astrology stuff, but it was all just kind of silly games. And I think, when I want to play a silly game, I play Monopoly.
Yeah.
What is it about, what drew you to the Ouija board and all the occult stuff?
I think just us as humans, we're drawn to the taboo. I think it's part of our nature. We like that mystery. That's why people like horror movies and stuff. And it's like,
and your inhibitions are already a little bit weakened because you're doing all this other great stuff.
Yeah. I liked that
Right.
like kind of that. I like the demonic type of stuff. I was drawn to the dark stuff. Not.
Hold
not
on, was it DJ? I hate when they try to use the occult and demonize it and say it's something.
Thank you, demonic. Thank you. I agree. Can you get into that? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, because the cult is powerful. Even the symbol, the pentagram, right? People be like, oh my God, they got the pentagram and they got a candle lit. You know, the pentagram is a representation of us. That's what the pentagram is the human body. And people get in their arms and their feelings and they be like, it's because they misinterpret it. Not everything about witchcraft that is bad. Like, people are using this shit on you, like, if you don't notice it. And they do it just like marketing ads, all of that. All of that is part of it.
And the thing is they want to make you afraid of like utilizing certain things because they don't want you to know that this matrix is really like something that you could break out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that right there. They don't want you to know that if you vibrate really high, you won't vibrate with half of these people in the world.
You won't. Yes, and then why do they call it black magic though?
Oh, because they want to keep you away from it. They want to tell you it's bad, and because if
but then there's such thing as white magic. So is it like the black people was doing it, and so therefore now it's black voodoo and this, that, the other, and all this, evil with the blackness. That I believe when people start calling things black magic and occult, and when you actually get into African spirituality, a lot of the African spirituality is considered black magic and occult.
Mm-hmm.
When you get into Egypt, all that stuff is considered occult knowledge. But all occult means is hidden.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean evil. All occult means is hidden. So if you remove the word occult and you put hidden in it, then what?
Exactly. See, I can't stand it. It's a way to empower yourself.
Exactly. If you do it right, if you're not doing some evil shit with it, you empower it. If you want to do evil with anything, you could do evil with the Bible.
Thank you. People, a whole bunch of Christians be there, and half of them don't even be standing on their shit, but they want to quote the Bible. This is the Bible. I have to laugh at them because it's like, how you gonna come quote the Bible and you over here looking like a total drug dealer? Like, what we doing?
Right. They look, NWA get a Grammy and like, well, I just like to thank our Lord Jesus Christ. Like, sir, Jesus Christ is not cool with what you doing, so cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus is not down with that. Let's go.
Sense of, hey, you know, devil with pitchfork and horns. But the stuff that made people uncomfortable. I wanted to go into the water that everyone else was like, I don't know, that's a little crazy.
The secret.
Yeah. And so it was just something I did with like friends. I'd play the Ouija board. I started doing psychics. I went into all that because Buddhism is already kind of branched. I would say those are branches of that. It's like that whole world kind of comes together. It's the same thinking. And so I started getting more into the occult. And so what was crazy is when I was about 2012, I was doing a lot of psychedelics. I was doing a lot of heroin. I was in probably the worst place I had ever, one of the darkest places in my life. And so I had this moment of like, I'm having encounters with light beings. Why am I not happy? Why am I still stuck? I can't stop doing heroin. I want to kill myself. And I'm thinking I'm enlightened. I would have a trip. And for a week, I'd be the most enlightened. I think I was Gandhi. For the next week, I'm Gandhi, everybody. And then a week later, I want to kill myself. And so I'm starting to connect these dots. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why am I having these great experiences, but I can't?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I noticed that most of these people that's be going on these journeys and doing all these things is always the people who got all the money, they don't know what to do with themselves. You ain't hear him?
What did he say? Did you say he got a lot of money?
No, he was like, I was doing heroin, I was doing this. No, but I find, this is just me though, I find that a lot of people that be like on these spiritual paths, want to go to Bali, want to do this, a lot of them be having a lot of money and they don't know what to do with themselves. Like, they possibly got an inheritance, they possibly made a lot of money in their business, and now they're just bored with life, or they just don't know what to do. So they do stuff like this. They try to find something to do, or, you know, branch out. And
And I talked to a black guy that was on heroin. I thought that they were probably seeing all kind of visions, but all heroin does is make you go to sleep and like pretty much lucid dream.
Oh,
like you just really relax really a lot and just be sleep. You don't see nothing. I thought that you would at least hallucinate or see something.
No, some people do. Some people said that they have lucid dreams, but it's almost like the most beautiful dream, and it's almost like the endorphins that they get be like on a level 100. You ever seen that movie? You got to watch this movie called The Basketball Diaries.
The Basketball Diaries? That's about heroin?
Yeah, it's called The Basketball Diaries. It's about this kid. He was like probably like 16, 17, and he got strung out. He started trying different drugs, and the heroin really, that shit strung him out. And he talks about how he fell into it, and how he talks about all of that and the feeling. And when he would like go in these dream states, he'll be running through like valleys of flowers, and it just took him to a whole nother world. And then he'll wake back up, and now he's back in this world, and his body feels like shit because he done spent all that energy, and now he has to go, get that drug to get that next hit.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, so maybe the guy that I interviewed probably didn't get the right dosage to get to that level, because he made it seem like you just be really relaxed and really like warm, and
they do go to sleep, yeah, but they be experiencing something. I don't think people just do it just to go to sleep. They do it because they get that endorphins, they get that rush, that endorphins on 100 level.
Yeah. So, and then here's the interesting part. The guy said that the Ouija board team was going to die of a drug overdose. So, how much of this Ouija is really about your subconscious mind speaking to you, and not even like a demon, but really your own subconscious mind guiding your hand, just like a pendulum, right? They say that the pendulum works because it's like your subconscious mind, your higher self is kind of manipulating your body to move a certain way to say yes or no, you know?
You could do it with the glass. I mean, are you moving anything if it hits the glass?
With the glass.
People put like a half a glass of water and they put the pendulum inside the glass. And sometimes the pendulum will move and hit the glass, and that's how they could get the answer also.
Without you actually holding it?
No, you still have to hold it.
Yeah, so they're saying that there's like micro movements that happen when you were holding a pendulum. There's
I
like
don't think so.
micro
You think so? I don't think so. You think so?
They say
You
it's
could be
happening
right.
subconsciously.
You could be right. It could be
Like your higher
subconscious.
self is like manipulating your, you know, arm or whatever, kind of a
Yeah,
certain
I
way.
believe that for the pendulum. Yeah, you could say that.
So how do you know that this Ouija's not doing the same thing? You know?
But if you ask the Ouija a question in the future,
That's crazy. I would never ask no shit like that to no damn Ouija board. no
no, I've
board.
asked the pendulum questions in the future, and it has told me the right answer.
No, I'm saying, am I gonna die and win and all that stuff? That's
No, I don't ask those questions. I ask yes or no. Keep it simple.
in Ifa, it's like no, there's no, you don't know when, you know, it is, you know, the only thing you know is when, you know, when you're born and your destiny, like everything else is like, you know, yeah. So now there you can go deeper into it, and you could be told when, but you know, for the most part, people don't do that because that's a certain level of taboo. So let's go.
Can't ever bring back the fruit or what I thought was fruit. I can't ever bring it back to my life. And I can't find the power to overcome any of my obstacles.
What did you think the light beings were? Did you think it was a figment of your imagination, you know, just a chemical product of the drugs, or did you think they were angels or something?
So with acid and mushrooms, you don't typically, at least I never had visuals where like, oh, I'm seeing this thing just pop up. It's more like the walls will melt. Everything's a lot more vibrant. But you know, you could see something and starts to look like something else. I had a time where like my dog turned green and his tongue was longer, stuff like that, right? Like, but like, you know, like, oh, this is reality.
Still a dog.
Yeah. Like, it's like I knew it was reality. With the DMT, this was like full on, like you're seeing a whole world just crack open in front of you. It's like going to Mars or something, right? Like right now, this room, you know, just turns into, you know, another realm, right? And it's like, so I'm experiencing. So I knew I was hallucinating, but I also knew 100% this stuff is real. Whatever is in my room right now, these things are real, and they would be light beings. So they're a human shape, but they are like they were colors. One was purple, one was orange, one was red. It's like a flaming light, but in a human shape body, right? So it's like a silhouette. And then the thing about them is that they would always speak peace, like, we're here to help you. We're, you know, calm down, relax. We have your back. And the thing that was interesting, and I didn't pick it up at the time, but looking back, it literally was like, you know, when you're swimming in the ocean and you feel like that there's something maybe under you. It's like you're enjoying the waves, it's fun, but you kind of like, oh, it might be a shark. That's how it felt. It's like, I kind of don't trust you guys, but I don't have a reason not to. You look pretty. You're giving me good information.
You're clothed as an angel of light. You might.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where it was at. But it just never.
And they gave you advice in the sense that calm down, it's okay. What would they tell you?
Well, they would say, like, the one DMT experience I had these three beings come in my room. I freaked out. I started to try to get up off the bed, but there was a bigger one. Like, so if I was laying down, it was like his legs were 10 feet tall. So the other ones I see in front of me dancing around and swirling. This one was 10 feet tall legs. I couldn't even see the top of the being, but his hands started going over me. And if you've seen Reiki, they go like this. Like they do. He was doing Reiki hand movements over me, and he was telling me telepathically, relax, we're here to help you, right? And then a few minutes later, my door opened up by itself and another one came in and it was dragging my body. So I'm in my body, I'm watching this. My body gets dragged in the room and they told me, if you don't stop doing heroin, this is you. And because I used to get high in my bathroom. And so I knew they were saying, like, you're going to overdose in this bathroom if you don't stop. And so that's what I mean. Like, they would tell me, like, you need to be a better person. You need
So what is that? Seems to me there's four options. Mm-hmm. It could be your subconscious. You knew, even as you're doing a bunch of dope, you know that this is bad for you and it's going to kill you. Mm-hmm. So it's your subconscious telling you that, like in a dream, say. Or they're demons. The clothed as angels of light, as it says in the Bible. Or they're angels. Mm-hmm. Or they're just some weird chemical hallucination, totally random, totally unaccounted for, totally meaningless.
What is your thoughts?
It could be your subconscious or your higher self trying to get you to wake up and tell you like you need to take control. I remember when I used to like have dreams of crashing. Like real, like real, like I be driving and all of a sudden I'm driving across like something and I'm going into a ditch or somewhere and I would wake up frantic and I'd be like, oh my God, that shit felt so real. And the energy was so strong that so I live right next to a highway and people be coming off the exit and speeding past like the main road and there'd be car crashes happening all the time there. And I will wake up and there'll be a car crash 2 seconds later.
Let me tell you a crazy story that happened to me. I met a girl who said that she had gotten in an accident and she was going 40 miles an hour and her car flipped over. After that, I began to have dreams of driving, getting into the accident, and my car flipping over. That shit happened.
The car
That shit fucking happened.
it happened to oh.
It happened to me, yeah.
Mm.
I would have like this, I would wake up like at the end of it, right when it happened, and it's exactly how I saw it in my dream.
Damn.
Yeah. And it was right after me doing ayahuasca, like probably like I would say, yeah. So crazy.
And then I also had another dream. So I was in a service and I needed somebody to watch my kid because I was going to Japan, right? And so I had this older lady watch my son because my mother was on some next shit and talking about how she didn't want to watch him. And at the time I had broke up with my ex-husband. We had separated. And then my sister went back to New York because I was going to Japan. So I had my son was staying with this older lady, and it was unfortunate because I really wanted my mother to take care of my son. But in like I would have dreams and I would be dreaming that I was being shocked. Like I was being like electrocuted, like literally. And I was keep having those dreams and it was like basically telling me that I need to take control of my life. Because I had the lady watch over my house while I was in Japan and take care of my son. And I was paying her money on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole time when I was in Japan, I was like in the middle of the night, I was being shocked and it did not stop until I got a hold, came back. And I told the lady I want nothing to do. I changed the locks on my door. I had rented out my place and I had my mother come get my son and take him to New York.
Wow.
So there's ways that your subconscious and spirit will talk to you. But yeah, I was being electrocuted in my sleep. Like, and
your son was reaching out to you from the like, listen, I don't feel safe here, you know?
She said my son will be crying and he'll be dreaming of me.
Really? Sometimes that connection of mother and mother and child is deep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it. Let's go.
Which to me seems like the most ridiculous possibility of all. So which of the three is it?
So I think the interesting thing is that if you talk to anybody that did psychedelics, I think everybody would agree they're all real. It's like
it's not just your subconscious.
It's not your imagination, your subconscious. I think there's times people think like your subconscious can create stuff that isn't really there. But those experiences are 100%. It's another dimension. The veil is removed.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gets manipulated because of our ignorance, And so, and I'll give you an example. The first time I did the mushrooms, I started to climb up a radio tower. And then I got about 20 feet up and I saw, oh, what am I doing? I shouldn't be climbing a tower right now. I started to climb down. That inflicted a thought of fear where I started, for some reason, because I was in the woods, I started thinking about the Headless Horseman. And I'm like, oh, the Headless Horseman's going to get me. I started to hear horses come, right? So that was a example of me thinking something.
Right. And then it kind of,
but I knew, oh, I'm just tripping.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this isn't real right now. I went back in the car and I was fine.
Because you hear that expression a lot. You're like, oh man, that guy's tripping over there.
Yeah.
Obviously where it comes from is you literally were tripping and you were imagining something that wasn't there.
Yeah, and I was imagining it and I knew I was.
But this was different than what was going on in your
way different.
But so then my question is, it sounds like they're demons.
Yeah.
But they're saying, hey, don't kill yourself, get off the heroin, which seems like good advice. So then it seems like they're angels.
Right.
So what is it?
That's the deception in it. And so I think Romans 6 talks about, it says you're either a slave to sin or to righteousness. It says, look at the fruit of what's coming from this. And so I think that a lot of times we have to look like, what is the fruit that is coming from this? Like the fruit that was coming from this was not good in any sense for me.
Even when they say get off the heroin, that's not good. Well, I guess because it didn't work.
Because there was no power there. So it's kind of like, and I always use this illustration of, if I'm trying to kidnap somebody, I'm not going to say, hey, I'm here to kill you, kid. Like, come in the car. It's like, here's some candy. Right. Hey, I want to get you down there. Here's $100. So they don't, if you look at like the state of Satan being the God of this world in a fallen state, fallen angels having, secret knowledge and you know what I mean?
Principalities and powers.
Yeah. And all this stuff, they're not dumb, and so they can give you stuff that looks good,
Now let's talk about this real quick, because I really want to get into this whole principalities and angels and demons, because I really think that this is really talking about yourself. You could be your own demon. You could be your own angel. It's like a lot of times we think that these things are outside of ourselves, but it's really things within ourselves, the demons that we are battling.
Yeah, I can see that, because as within is without.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You can create a demon.
You can.
Your own mind can create a demon that attacks you.
What they call that? A poltergeist.
It's a name for it in E5. I forget what it was. I mean, when I had the Bible on here, he said what it was called in Yoruba. But they actually talk about a self-created demon. So drug use and things like that is a self-created demon. So a lot of times people think of like the demons outside of themselves, like something is making you do. The devil made me do it. No, you made you do it.
Yeah, your actions could align, but don't you think that if you're on a downward trajectory, all those spirits and all those everything on that frequency you're gonna hear, they're gonna be attracted to you.
I think it's you attracting it to yourself, that you're creating it within yourself. You create your reality. So therefore, once you understand that you're the creator of your own reality, everything that's happening to you is because of your creation in your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you're dealing with a demon of drug abuse, if you're dealing with a demon of sex, over-sexing, or whatever it is, these are things that you create within your own self. Because my thing is that if that was the case, then why doesn't my drug abuse affect what you're doing? When I take a drug, it doesn't make you high.
No, that's
but if
for
there's
you.
a demon that's creating drug abuse,
there's no demon that creates drug abuse.
You understand what I'm saying? If there's a demon that does all this stuff, wouldn't it affect everything in that vicinity? Or why would it only affect me? It's because that is a thing that is within you. It's based on trauma that you had in life.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And that trauma creates a response, whether it be anger and
yes. They would say these people that go on these ayahuasca journeys and they try to come to like the forest and take them. And when they be taking these shots of the ayahuasca, they have unresolved trauma from childhood. And some of it be heavy. And sometimes people be wondering, what the hell? You see the person foaming at the mouth, turning into a whole complete person. It's because what they're carrying inside, it has to come out.
It has to come out. They're throwing up, they're doing this, they're going through all that, whatever. And really all this stuff is just unresolved anger, trauma, frustration, jealousy, all these different things. And these demons, because that's what those things are, those negative emotions are demons, but they reside within your subconscious, and that's up to you to figure out how to remove them.
Yeah, and I think people are really scared of that type of energy because it's untamed.
And when we realize that energy relies within ourselves, then you can heal. But if you think it's something outside of you, that's the reason why you couldn't stop doing XYZ, is because you think something outside of you is making you do this.
Yeah.
Instead of taking your, you know what I'm saying? What did it say? What is the serenity prayer of Alcoholics Anonymous? It is, Lord, grant me the serenity to change the things I cannot change, to wait, give me the serenity to change the things I can, the not the wisdom, wait, the what was it?
Wisdom to know the things that cannot change, or something like that.
No, I think the wisdom to know the difference at the end. I think it's like the
Yeah.
give me the serenity to know the things I cannot change, the something to know the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The
Yeah.
courage or something like that to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So the bottom line is it's all within yourself. So
Yeah.
a lot of times you have these outside forces and everything that you think is like, because a lot of times we get into like with a lot of these religions, they talk of a demon outside of yourself, and that's the problem, is that it makes the person not never deal with themselves and the things they have within them.
So,
That is
all right.
causing.
So, DJ Genesis, do you think that the universe could test you to see if you're really truly healed?
Is it the universe testing you, or is it you testing yourself?
It could be, but I've been through many tests. They'd be like, "Okay, are you healed? Let's see if you're really healed."
Think
And
about
some
this.
of them would
The
hit
universe,
you.
the so-called universe, right, which I really believe is your higher self, can send you a guy, right? Now you
Yeah.
got the choice to deal with that dude or not.
Mm,
And
that
he
could
could be
be a
this. He
test
could
in
be the. He could
itself.
exhibit all the same things that the last dude that you was with. Now, is that some outside force that's creating that, or is that you dealing with a person that probably you already knew you shouldn't be dealing with?
Mm, that's true. It could be. Yeah, it could be.
You say, okay. He says yes, the universe tests you, but is the universe really your higher self, or is it something outside of you?
Yeah, so I believe I say the universe, but I understand what you're saying. Universe could be a higher self. It could be the God frequency in you. It could be all of those things.
When you pray, you become prey. Interesting. Why would that be? When you pray, you become prey. Mm.
Yeah, because there's a lot of entities, a lot of pagan gods, a lot of people all around you. So when you pray, you don't know who's going to answer that call.
So when you talk about the pagan gods, when you actually do the research, you'll find out that all those, like, okay, people might say that the Orisha is a pagan religion, right? It's
Hmm.
paganism, right? It's not Christian. But when you look deeper into the Orisha, you know that they're all functions of the body.
Yeah.
June is the blood, is the blood. I think Yemaya is the, the your circulatories, different like aspects of like the person. I think the blood is Ogun, your blood vessels, your circulation. I think that's Oshun, Yemaya. If you actually break it down even deeper, and then that's how they're even able to like heal certain ailments within the Ifa tradition, right? And then you get into other practices, and it's pretty much the same thing with Hinduism and all
Yeah.
these things they call like the occult, and this whatever is really about like self-improvement.
Yes, Buddhist. And that's the thing. He would be like, "Oh, you're a Christian." But didn't Christ raise the dead? Didn't Christ heal people? Didn't Christ light candles? So what are we talking about?
And here's the thing is that when you actually realize and start to deal with yourself, and you start to deal with your own demons, because only you can like actually describe any demon that you see or whatever you're experiencing. Nobody else is experiencing that but you.
Mm.
Now, sometime there's a moment where you guys might be, two people might be together and begin to experience, because of like, just the fact that we're all like just syncretism. But for the
So
most part, go ahead.
so DJ Genesis, you don't think there's multiple parallel realities? What about those people who be on that show? I think it's called The Haunted or something, and basically they be having these paranormal experiences with these you can say these spirits that are earthbound, and they're probably stuck in a house because something traumatic happened in their
I think that there are, I think that there are people that might be stuck in other realms. But is
Mhm.
that a demon that is attacking you? I don't know. I would rather say I don't know than to make a statement of like whether or not that's true.
Oh, to make a statement like that. I don't think so. That guy to say that, he doesn't show signs of that. There's no like scratch marks. I don't know. So I can't, you know, you have to say no. Do I think there are some unclean spirits or I don't even like to call them demons because I feel like they all have a place in this universe. So I would say these spirits that will challenge you, or the dark ones, or whatever.
Right. So let's go into this is the actual part that we've been waiting for. Demons and the Ouija board and all this stuff in prison, though. I'm like, how in the hell? Why did a Ouija board?
Who plays with that in prison?
How does a Ouija board land itself in a prison?
Right? Yo, DJ
Here we
Genesis,
go,
where you get
bro.
this from? Where you get this?
Man. Where you get this craziness from? Yes. This guy is talking about how he was summoning demons in prison with a Ouija board. Let's go.
How soft it may be, how they're communicating, telling you things in that nature. It's the window. Yeah. You see that little triangle thing? That's exactly what it is. It's a window. And you're opening that window up when you summon the words. I ain't gonna say the words.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling it's real. People that know, they're gonna watch this motherfucker, they're gonna be like, he ain't lying, man.
Prison Stories 101. Man, we back with another one, man. Greedy, we got you in the building, man. What's good with it?
What's up with it? How you been?
Man, been all right, man. Now, for those that might not know, man, we actually did this already. And we actually going back to part 2 of this because we lost the footage. But we're gonna try to capture the same magic we caught at first, man. And with that being said, if you don't mind, I want to allow you to reintroduce yourself. Tell them where you're from and how much time you did.
Yeah, man, for one, my name is Greedy. I go by Rue. I'm from Dallas, 6'5" Grove. I did 8 years flat. I was given 8 years for aggravated robbery. Yeah, that's how we come, man.
All right, let's go and get into it. We always try to learn the who, what, when, why, and where of when things happen. First of all, let's do the when. When did you catch a charge? What year was it for you to go in?
I caught it in 2008, around like November. Like I said, they gave me 8 years state. I did my first year in the federal holdover. So you basically they made me do it on the Fed side or whatever. They was trying to fight the charge to make it go like Fed, but stay down. You know what you did. You know how to fight. Get that bullshit out the way and handle it the right way. Okay, 8 years state.
2008. All right, let's go with the where. Where did you catch a charge? And what units did you serve on?
I caught my charges out in East Texas, little country, little towns. I think we call it Gilmore or something like that. It was little small little towns or whatever. And really, like I say, it was just something that me and my partner them had heard about or whatever. And my kinfolk had put us on the little play. So we went down there. Shit didn't go as planned. But yeah, and then they ended up giving me 8 years, for the people on the case or whatever. They really.
It's so sad how many black men be doing robberies. You know how many black men I met that went to prison for robbery? Youngest age that I met a black man that did some kind of a robbery was 17 and had to spend 15 to 22 years in prison.
Yes, it's a lot of them that do robberies. Even my cousin did. Yeah, he did some time, and that was armed robbery, and they gave him about 10 to 12 years to life.
Man, and I think I'm like, who is even? Because I think that's a psyop. How in the hell did all these black men are doing robbery? What is this? Let's go.
But Torres was one of the units. It was more like a gang unit. You know what I mean? When you're young, they feel like you're gonna get into some stuff when you're already getting in trouble and stuff like that. They see you over there where there's more other youngsters and shit like that, on that same time. But when I was over there, that hoe was trash. It just too much shit going on. You know what I'm saying? It was hard time. I was so far away from the damn house and shit. So most of the time, you either in that bitch gambling or you squabbling. You know what I'm saying? And when you just get tired of doing this shit, you ain't you losing. It's just to the point this shit it ain't making sense. I'm doing hard time. I really ain't got to do hard time. You know what I'm saying? And meaning by hard time, meaning shit, I go to commissary. You feel what I'm saying? I got hoes riding out for me, put money on my books. You know what I'm saying? Family support me, all that type of shit. You feel what I'm saying? So really on certain units, you just get caught up into the politics, you know what I'm saying, of what's going on. If it's the gambling world politics, the drug gang politics, the free world politics, meaning if it's a female down there that she worked there, y'all just locked in, you know what I'm saying? You just certain things niggas just get caught up off the unit. But when I was over there, for probably about 2 years, and then they ended up shipping me to West Texas to this unit called Smith Unit. And on Smith Unit, it was a different little ball game, you know what I'm saying? It was still a lot of politics, but it was more active shit going on. You know what I mean? And you will hear about, because the reason being is they had this thing called.
You can't tell me these people are not traumatized when they get out of that. They kids going in 17, 18, and then they in there with grown ass men and stuff like that. You could tell, you could hear that the trauma in these men. You know, it's sad.
High security. I mean, you got people over there probably with a live sentence. They G5, so you can go over there and work. You know what I'm saying? So you see them type of people, whatnot. You get what I'm saying? But when you see them type of people, you knowing, yeah, there's some shit going on. You feel me? Because certain units, like the transfer units, like they don't really have too much shit going on. You know what I mean? A lot of people over there probably got about the most 10 years. You feel what I'm saying? But anyways, when they sent me the Smith unit, it started opening up for me then. That's probably when I was like 3-4 years down in the system already. You know what I mean? So I had went over there. What's crazy is I actually made parole, man. People don't believe this shit, bro. And I tell niggas this shit's true. I don't know if you ever heard of the Ouija board. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You believe in that shit?
I never messed with it. So I don't know. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit real. It's real. Like to the point, like when I was down there, you know what I'm saying? Like just getting caught in time, you just bored, you just doing shit. Like I said, you gambling, you super gambling, whatever. And then one time I was locked up in medium custody, and my celly had one. You know what I'm saying? I'm laughing at the nigga. I'm rolling. He telling me all these stories. He done talked to this person, dead person. He's naming people. I'm laughing though. I'm a young nigga. I'm like, like crazy. They put me in the cell with this weird ass nigga. You know what I'm saying?
You got a Ouija board in the cell?
Yeah, you can make them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Ready to go.
Man, bro, Ouija board in the cell. Bro.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Do they even allow you to have that?
Clearly, like I guess they say, hell, you gonna be up in here for some time. Here, get just here Ouija board. Fuck it, you know. What the hell, Texas? You know what I'm saying? What's going on in Texas at the prison? Child.
I speak on it, you know what I'm saying? Like he understand like my intentions. I'm just speaking it, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because I told and I vowed it, like to no fuck with it again. You know what I'm saying? I don't just go on the spiritual side, but it's just on the end. Like you playing with the dead. That's really what it is. Witchcraft. You get what I'm saying? And you can create it. You get what I'm saying? And my celly made it. You feel me? Out of the board. It's more so the words. You get what I'm saying? You're summoning things. You feel what I'm saying? It's craft. It's witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, long story short, I played that weird ass shit, and my weird ass got into it. You know what I'm saying? So now that I've seen that it's actually real, now I'm just doing it with other cellies and showing people, but really not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? I'm really opening doors that's not supposed to be open. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I ended up making parole. You know what I'm saying? True story. This is how this shit happened. When you do, I got 8 at a time. If you do 4 years of your half of your sentence, you can come up for parole and make your parole. So I had 8 years ag. So when I came up for parole in 4 years, but in the midst of that time, me come up for parole is when I'm fucking with this goddamn Ouija board. So it was like just being true for it. This shit was real, bro. It would make you things that you would think was finna happen or go on. It's like it'll turn all the way around into a whole nother type of shit. You get what I'm saying?
Hold on. He said he had a girl boot the whole Ouija board in her up her behind and her cootie cat. No, they have that shit on commissary somewhere. There's no way that you just,
I won't be surprised. These
can't fit no whole
guards be sleeping with these men in there. Come on, DJ Genesis.
Oh my god.
You don't think they be sleeping with these men?
Ouija board into the thing up her who cat.
Anything is possible because even when I was I want to say let's not belay my last. Let's keep going. I can't talk.
No, that's good. Right, yeah, right. We've all have our ex-convict stories with our ex-convict.
Like in real life. So me playing it just was giving me bad luck on everything that I would think was good. You get what I'm saying? So I made parole, you know what I mean? Made parole, and one of the dudes, when I'm leaving, he like, yo, bitch ass be back. He's screaming through the window. Yo ass be back. You been down there fucking with them demons. Them demons gonna see your ass right back before you leave. I swear to God, nigga screaming through the window. I'm like, man, shut your hating ass up. Y'all just hating niggas going home. Y'all bitch ass. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Stop it. That's a curse. That's a curse. People don't even realize. See, he think it's the Ouija board, but that was a curse. That guy said.
What did he say?
Let me go back. He made parole, right? And then on his way out the door, somebody say some old bullshit. Let's go.
And look on everything that I would think was good. You get what I'm saying? So I made parole. You know what I mean? Made parole, and one of the dudes, when I'm leaving, he like, yo bitch ass be back. He's screaming through the window. Yo ass be back. You been down there fucking with them demons. Them demons gonna see your ass right back before you leave. I swear to God, nigga screaming through the window. I'm like, man, shut your hating ass up. Y'all just hating niggas going home when y'all bitch ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's a curse. See, people, you gotta watch out. People saying shit, you gotta make sure that shit don't get into your mind and then create like a story. and then you see the spells and curses, like people words.
Yeah, some people will be hateful if you was to leave prison or if something was to happen, or like if you was in jail and you got out within 1 or 2 days. Some people be like, I'll just say
That's evil eye. That's what that's called. That's called the evil eye. Like, yeah, that
yeah, some people be hateful. They be looking at you like they don't want you to leave. They be like, you're supposed to do more time. You're lucky.
Right. You get enough people.
Like,
you know
what the fuck is this? You supposed to be wanting me to go home. The fuck?
Right. No, they don't want you to go home. We gotta talk about this thing called the evil eye. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a thing called the evil eye, and it's when a person. Okay, here we go. I want to show y'all this because I want y'all to be aware. So the evil eye is an ancient cross-cultural superstition and curse. It suggests that a malicious or intensely envious glare, often triggered by jealousy over someone's success, wealth, or good fortune, can bring about bad luck, physical illness, or misfortune to the person being watched. So what you have to do, what he probably should have did when he heard that, is to probably cleanse himself of like that evil eye. There's a such thing. That's one thing I do believe is you got enough people hating and jealous and whatever and wishing you harm. You got to cleanse yourself of that, because that could be heavy on your spirit, you know. So yeah, he heard that when the guy spoke out those words, it reverberated in his mind. It stuck somewhere, and he kept probably hearing it. And next thing you know, some shit happened. It processed in his subconscious mind, and then he began to believe it. And then next thing you know, he probably had to come back.
Mm-hmm. No, I said now I see why people be having rituals. I know people online that they do like a smoke sage, like a smoke sage, almost like a bath where they light the sage and they smoke themselves out with the sage. A lot of people light a candle every day and ask for protection. Like people do these rituals so that they stay armed 24/7.
Yeah, you got to, because otherwise,
I see why.
I mean, especially if you're in a person that everybody's seeing you leave, they mad. You got to do things to protect you of those words. Like when he said that, he should have did something, a thing of protection from what that guy said. But what happens is that he remembers it even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? You see how it's like been like probably 15 years later, he remembered that moment when that guy said that. Now, how much was in his mind when he said, "You young kid," and this guy, "You gonna be right back. You ain't coming. You gonna be right back here."
So Genesis, does he need to do some healing for that?
Trauma, yeah. Traumatized. Still talking about it 15 years later. Didn't remove that entity, that spirit up off of him. Probably still affects him. Probably have bad dreams of waking up in prison in his mind, you know what I'm saying? Hear that dude's voice, you gonna be right back, you know what I'm saying?
That's true, yeah. Some people do end up right back in prison as soon as they get out.
Yeah, so he got to talk about it.
So anyways, when you go down, they ship you to a unit, you know what I'm saying? It's called what was this unit called? The Wilds unit. Yeah. And what the Wilds unit is death row. You know what I'm saying? It's like on death row, they'll hold inmates for like transit, meaning like you'll just come over for a little time. You probably finna go home, or you finna go to another unit, whatever. So you only probably be over there for like a couple weeks. But the predominant unit is people that have death row. I know you know the Bonnie and Clyde story, how they say they escaped from jail. This was the unit that they escaped from. They still got like the bullet holes outside the jail and on the rails and on the wall and shit. The brick wall is that old, homie. You feel me? But me and my cellie on my old unit used to always say, man, if I ever go to the Wilds unit, I'll play this shit at the Wilds unit. It's demons and dead people everywhere on that bit. So you gotta understand, that's what you're doing when you're playing the Ouija board. Yeah, exactly. So, but you so caught up into this shit, you just want to see more and more. It just feeds you, bro. It feeds you. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So now I'm on this unit. Me and my cellie, we used to be talking about this shit like, man, we'll go to Wilds unit. Here it is. I'm on Wilds unit. I'm only gonna be here for a couple of days though. So I'm like, fuck it, I gotta sell it. True story, man. The cellie was from New Orleans. He only gonna be my cellie for a couple of days now. So I'm automatically thinking like, hey, cellie, you wanna play this thing? You ever heard of the Ouija board? Oh, son, I don't fuck with that shit. No, I don't fuck with that shit. I'm like, nah, hear me out. Don't y'all do like voodoo and all that type of shit, you know what I'm saying, in the booth. He was like, yeah, but no, we don't do that. Everybody don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, look, Sally, no, because you got to get shit straight with your Sally. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you got to let your Sally know what's going on. And I'm just a real nigga. At the end of the day, nigga, I don't care who you are. You can be the scariest nigga in the world. I want you to feel comfortable. You feel me? Like, I'm finna play with this Ouija board. I'm gonna be gambling, screaming through this door all goddamn day. Maybe have some home. I just got to know my Sally. You feel me? So I'm putting him on game what I'm finna do with this Ouija board. So he was like, man, I don't fuck. I'm like, I'm sure it's real, man. I'm finna make one. You know what I'm saying? And like this death row. So it's a whole bunch of demons on this bitch. It's a whole bunch of spirits and stuff. But the thing about these boys, they get good spirits and bad spirits to talk to.
What the hell is he doing? He had to make one out of some paper and oh my God.
He said it's a whole bunch of demons with this. You look like you're about to have a good, joyful ride.
Bro, you only had a couple days. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like, bro.
You're about to go on a roller coaster ride.
Right. What is he doing? Why you do that? Like, you're about to get out. Child. He done let somebody convince him to get on another unit with this bullshit. And I'm sure that let's hear what stupid ass shit happened. Keep it as in jail longer.
I'm saying, like, yeah, homie, you will know. They'll take over the board, like how aggressive the board may be, how soft it may be, how they're communicating, telling you things of that nature. This shit, it's the window. If you see that triangle thing, that's exactly what it is. It's a window. And you're opening that window up when you summon the words. I ain't finna say the words.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you some real nigga shit. People that know, they gonna watch this motherfucker, they gonna be like, he ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when you do it, it's like, if you real with yourself and close to God, you'd be like, man, I ain't fucking with that no more. You feel me? I shouldn't have even done that shit. And that's what it was. But anyway, I played it. On this wild unit death row, I go down through there with him. So Marcelli, he thinking I'm bullshitting. So I'm like, let's say, put your hand on. You see he's answering me right now. So Marcelli put his hand on. He like, man, that's you doing it. I like, man, no, it ain't Sally. Just pay attention, man. Just anybody you feel. And while I'm talking to him, I take my hand off of it. And that bitch steady moving. He look down and that bitch, oh, Sally. He go out. He tweaking. He, oh, Sally. You know, he from Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? You know how they get down and shit. He turned up. I'm like, nah, like, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, calm down because they'll take over. You feel me? But long story short, you know what I'm saying? I fucked with the shit with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? But it went deep into that. You get what I'm saying? It was this one demonic. Hey man, everybody that know that was down. It's niggas that were down there with me that went through this shit with me, homie. You feel what I'm saying? So people locked in to y'all. You feel me? They know what's going on the platform. They gonna say it. It was this one demonic demon boy. The bitch had nigga name was Papa. Used to spell his name out on the board. P-A-P-A. It's a true story, my nigga. And he used to do it on my unit where I was at when I first with my first celly. Mind you, I done got shipped to a whole nother unit. I'm like 4-5 hours away from where I was. You hear what I'm saying? Nigga, we playing this shit again, bro. And as I'm doing it, his ass took over the board, spelling his name hard. And I'm holding the board. He's scratching it. P-A-P. I'm like, man, this bitch ass. Oh, I know you're a cracker. I know you're a whole ass dead cracker who just demonic and such.
Wow, just talking shit.
So it's a white boy.
Huh?
It's a white boy?
I don't know.
Oh.
But this is when you playing the Ouija board.
Yeah, you don't know.
Like, you don't really know. You don't know. Me? Sometimes you can fill them out. They may describe it.
He got hood with the Ouija board, child. He get the cussing the Ouija board out. He get the cracker. You just trying to get through and this, that, he get the cussing the Ouija board out, y'all. Wow.
Yeah, this was funny. I gotta, this is gonna be my comedy. Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing? Like, this is crazy. You're watching it. Listen, y'all, we all watching this for the first time together. Trust me, I did not see this. I saw a snippet of it. I said, this is interesting. And then I made the show, but I did not see all this. He did all this. So y'all got my real true reaction to what the hell is going on. Let's go.
You can put two and two together, but bro, it goes so deep.
That's crazy.
That's why when you see people in church that's saying that, you know, this woman so believable in God and she's talking to tongues, that shit don't even lie. That shit is real, bro. Man. That's how you will know if someone playing. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you will know that person's spirit. You will know what they're doing on it every day. So when them people to be so much into that Bible, man, their minds go deep into what they believing in. So when something is touching them, if it's a good spirit or whatever, and they start talking that tongue, you knowing that person is real, bro. Because at the end of the day, man, when they stopping, you love, when they ain't doing that, you talking to them like they're a regular person. Ain't nothing wrong with them, et cetera, et cetera.
Damn. Boy.
But anyway, they took the parole, man. You know, long story short, I'm on the unit. So anyways, after this shit, while I was playing with shit, I closed, start fucking with it. I'm waiting on the unit for 5 days. Like, man, I'm supposed to be going home, man. Why y'all ain't came and got me? I'm going off on the ward, get the ward, get the sword. I've been on this over 6 days. I'm supposed to be gone. I'm supposed to be at home. What's going on? So they steady going in on me. You know what I'm saying? They steady going off on me, telling me I got to stay. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. One day they come, they tell me, hey, John, come, you got change. Get ready. Hell yeah, I'm finna finally go. It's time for me to get ready. I'm finna get ready to go to the house. You know what I'm saying? I get ready. They put me on the chain bus. They send me right back to the same damn unit I just came from.
Wow.
I'm coming on the chain bus. The nigga, man, this nigga ain't with P-Rock. P-Rock, the nigga that screams like, you be back. I'm coming back. This nigga screaming through the window. Hey, y'all, that nigga Grady coming back. Grady back. Man, this nigga Grady. I'm like, man, shut y'all bitch ass up. You nigga jank me. That nigga say, no, you down there fuck with that goddamn Ouija board, I bet. You down there. My old Sally, he come to the window. He screaming, hey, Sally, you was fucking with it? Man, I'm back up here, bro. Why they bring me back? I come back. They send me back in the tank. Next day, I go to the line. I forgot what it's called. It's like where you go down there, the building where you got to meet the administrators and see what's going on. I'm talking. I'm like, man, I have parole. You know what I'm saying? They shipped me out while they sent me back.
Yeah.
They said, well, they took your parole. They said you got a warrant still in San Antonio for some aggravated robbery. I'm like, what? Mind you, homie, I ain't never been to San Antonio at this time.
Yeah.
My mama, I'm calling my mama. My mama done looked the shit up. She done figured this shit out. She saying the same shit. I'm like, I ain't never been to no goddamn San Antonio. They talking about, right, they had a whole newspaper article, bro.
Yeah.
Right now, if you was to look at this.
You had something in San Antonio. Called your mama.
Yeah, my mama, she done looked it up. She done found an article, but they ain't got no picture, bro. I ain't never even been to no damn San Antonio. I knew the shit wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew it was a whole bullshit, but they actually took my parole for this shit. And the shit went away. That whole little scenario, something about San Antonio, 3-4 months ago, it's just like it never happened.
Damn. So what happened? Hold on, wait. You said your parole was taken away?
Yeah.
Oh,
because I had them charges. So they was feeling to send me back to the county in San Antonio because they're thinking that I got these damn charges. Man, no charges went away.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to tell you, I never had been to San Antonio. At that time, when I'm like 19, bro. I don't even think I had not even been probably, man, before that look one with these texts.
Man, let me tell you something. It's really sad that these young kids, they go to prison at a very young age. Because he said it was 3-4 years that he got sent to the other place. That means he was in prison probably 17, 16, did some robbing people. And then he get introduced to a Ouija board and finally was about to get out. And honey, Ouija board sent his ass right back to the jail. What the fuck?
That shit was funny.
Ouija board sent him back. Like, oh, okay, you gonna cuss me out, honey. Well, guess what? Wow, that's crazy.
You wasn't doing too much traveling, like, you know what I'm saying, when you were young.
Yeah, San Antonio.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you from that shit for all the motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying?
All right, well, I mean, let's get right to it, man, because, that's one thing I wanted to ask you, and thank you for that story, because I knew that's the first time I heard about the Ouija board being even used.
Man, that shit real.
In the prison.
That shit real.
Yeah, when it comes down to the what, you said Gilmore, Texas or whatever, what was the situation for the robbery? Like, what, can you walk us through the what happened as far as for you to even catch the charge?
So basically, like I said,
What's 295? How you get 295? What you bet that is?
you gotta be fine. So basically, like, what had happened was, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm from Dallas, you know what I'm saying? I got family down like East Texas and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And like my family down in East Texas or whatever.
What happened as far as the what that got you caught up in your charge out in East Texas?
So basically, like I said, I'm from Dallas, bro, and like my partner then when I was growing up, that's the thing, that was the known thing in the Grove. It was like ATMs, you know what I'm saying? They used to hit like safes and ATMs and stuff like that. So what we was doing was we was hustlers, but we mimicked what they'll do. You get what I'm saying? But they wouldn't turn you on, we'll create our own lane. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Type shit. You feel what I'm saying? So one day, I'm knowing how to do this shit. My partner, he called me, my cousin from East Texas, he called me telling me he had an ATM down there. So I'm like, man, Ken shit, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been hustling, you know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. I just had my little boy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I really ain't on that type time right now. You feel me? Like the money coming in good. So he was like, all right, that's a bet. You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, shit, if you fuck around, hit me up. So one of my partners ended up coming at me with the same thing because he done hit up one of them. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna fuck with it unless it's me coming. You get what I'm saying? He looking at it like, I know you know what you're doing. I know it'll be cool money. We'll be straight.
Have you already hit ATMs before?
At this time, nah. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I was hustling. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I was more so when you was young, you had your partner that was older. So we was more so to be like a getaway driver. You get what I'm saying?
Man,
you know what I'm saying? I would see how it be done. So it's like, okay, I really don't need y'all. I can go do this my damn self type shit. You get what I'm saying? But on some real nigga shit, I really didn't. You feel me? So anyway, long story short, it was back then, it used to be state jail felony. The nigga would just break into them, you know what I'm saying, the building or whatever. If they close, bust down the ATM, it's just like breaking into somebody's house. You know what I'm saying? Okay. State jail felony.
Wait till the spot closes.
Wait till it's closed.
Make sure they're closed.
Make sure they're closed, because they number 2 years. You feel what I'm saying? But when you dealing with that gun, or when you dealing with multiple people running in there and somebody in there, it's a whole different ballgame. It's aggravated robbery now. You feel what I'm saying? It's 5 to 99. It ain't no 2 to shit. You feel what I'm saying? On the state jail shit. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, when Kinfolk tell me about the play, I went ahead and tell them, I was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the play together. You know what I'm saying? I know how to bust the ATMs down. I'll show y'all how to bust them down or whatever. But at the end of the day, we're gonna split it 50-50. We look out for, you know what I'm saying, for the lookouts and shit. So man, so anyway, before we even head down there, it was a crazy moment. Like my phone was just going off. You know what I'm saying? Remember I told you I'm hustling. I'm not even thinking about hitting no lick, none of that type of shit. Like my grind is good, my motion's straight. You know what I'm saying? Coming down out, and then we gotta go hour and a half. Like it was already something in my stomach telling me like, don't fuck with it. You feel what I'm saying? So boom, my phone steady rolling. I'm steady answering the phone, making a little bullshit, little play. I say, fuck it, I'm finna go down here. Boom, we go down there. It's me, a couple of my partners, and my relative, and it's my homegirl. We 2 cars deep. She driving. So by the time we get down there, we pull up into the front of the place. I tell McKenna, like, that bitch still open. Mine just already like 11, 12 o'clock at night. He telling me, he was like, that's what it is. They stay open since 20. I'm like, nah, nigga, hell nah. Like, nigga, we break into them hoes. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but a little burglary of a building type shit, nigga. Going to this bitch with this scrap, while this lady up in the motherfucker, nigga, that hoe gonna be aggravated robbing. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, damn, Kenfo, I thought you would. I ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? But my partner, this is my thug. You know what I'm saying? So my thug, he on some shit like this. I do it. Like, I just need you to look out. Or, you know what I'm saying? I do it. Let them niggas wrap that chain around ATM. We good.
Wow.
So I'm looking at my thug and I'm like, damn, bitch, like, but fuck it. You know what I'm saying? At this time, he told me, nigga, you and your partners, then y'all do whatever together. You know what I'm saying? We thugging this shit out. You feel me? You want to do it, I'm going to do it.
Man, listen, let me tell you something. Listen, women that have young boys, watch out with them with their older people, with the older cousins and all the older people. Got them doing dumb shit, put them in jail for, man.
Yes, that happened to my cousin and my brother. So the older men in the family, they will go out and rob and do stuff like that, but they don't want to catch the hit for that.
They think, oh, okay, you young, so you ain't gonna get.
So you still got your youth ahead of you. So I'm gonna utilize you. I'm gonna get you to do it.
I need to do a whole show about how older men get younger men caught up.
Yes, all of the time. That shit is like it's for the birds. That's why I'm glad.
They always talk about how, about black women and everything, but let's talk about how these older men be getting these young men serving time in prison because they don't want to catch the charge.
Yes, a lot of them, and I be feeling bad for them. I be like, damn.
Man, there was a dude that just got sent to death because his cousin convinced him to rob go to Garland, Texas, and rob 2 white dudes that had a studio. And honey, he waited all the way to the end to confess that he was the one who shot the 2 guys and killed them. The dude ended up getting death row and killed and everything like that. And he finally, but the court didn't even accept it, that he was the good guy that did the shooting.
So what happened to the cousin? Did the cousin get charged or no?
No, his cousin died. His cousin got death row and got elected or whatever. Got whatever, killed. Whatever they the death.
What about his other cousin, the one who told him to do it?
He just in jail for life.
Wow. It's not worth it. I feel like it's not worth it because you can make so much money on social media. You could get a job.
Well, back then they didn't have social media.
I know. They don't have social media. But now you got Uber Eats. You got all these things that's out now. So I don't even think people should be going to jail like that nowadays.
For robbery. Like, what was going on back in those times? Like, oh my God, the robbery.
No, it used to be armed robbery. They used to have the gun and pull it up on people.
Man, you know how many men I know that went that are my age, just coming out of prison, because they be on the dating apps. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you on any dating app, you're gonna run into a few armed robbers. You know what I'm saying? That was in prison when they was 17, 16, whatever, did some stupid shit, just getting out, got their shit together. That's the people make fun of me. Oh, you be dating the felons, the convicts. It's like, well, shit. I don't know.
But they just got out. Somebody gotta date them.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? They be the finest dude. They be built and everything, muscles and stuff. And
they be more finer than the people who out here working regular jobs. They be like, you wouldn't even work on your body. At least the guy getting out of jail, he in shape.
Right. It puts it down. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, he's crazy, y'all. I don't know why I said that. I shouldn't say that.
No, you're fine. Nobody here to judge you. I understand what you're saying because some of these guys nowadays, that erectile dysfunction be dysfunctioning. That's all I got.
Be this fun. Ain't no honey pack to solve it, honey. Ain't no honey pack to solve that. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Some guys are just like, I don't know what's wrong with them. Like, you know,
listen.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if we were to unload the series.
Man, this can't turn into a whole nother conversation.
I know. I don't even. It's not
right.
good.
So let's talk about. Okay, so this one time he talk about his. He gonna talk about his time with the Ouija board, and we gonna like wrap it up after this. Let's go.
Live in the best neighborhood. Very mixed socioeconomic group. There was your standard drug houses. There was people that parents were business professionals and entrepreneurs, and we kind of existed in the same neighborhood around each other where we all went to the same school, San Anselmo Elementary. And right up the street was Bernal Middle School. So around that was the Santa Teresa Mountains. It's what separates San Jose from Santa Cruz. And it's well known to be an area that was inhabited by Native Americans for many, many centuries before we arrived. When I started approaching my preteen years, it was not uncommon for me to skateboard off with my friends, go jump a light rail, and tell our parents we were at the park. We used to explore those mountains. We had a lot of areas like Dottie's Pond. Experience of seeing something unknown happen. I remember an instance where there was a holiday party at my sister's middle school. The side of her school is a crazy place alone. I mean, there's a story that you can actually probably look up online still. There was a book in her library that actually told about it, of a Native American tribe that was slaughtered by settlers. They literally lived all around our area, the base of the Santa Teresa Mountains. And there was a curse placed on the land, allegedly. People still say that they see apparitions of Native Americans, specifically a young girl in full regalia, beads, headdress, everything, walking around the campus and the area around the campus. So one night we're at this holiday party. Ironically, it was a Halloween party. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was October 29th, 1999. And there was a bunch of games. There's bobbing for apples. There's there's prizes to be won, little toys, gifts, whatever. They have a cakewalk, things like that. But there was a back gym section of my sister's school that they used for make a basket or throw the bean bags, knock the teeth out of the little smiling guy and get a kazoo or some sort of noisemaker or something as a prize. And I remember this instance pretty vividly, that we were kind of all standing there. I was in line. I was like second or third in line to do the basketball game. And all of a sudden the lights start flickering and then they shut off completely. And in the corner of the room, there's these two emergency doors. Those fly open. And I could see clear as day with the emergency lights that are outside that no one's holding them open. A gust of wind comes in and like a horror movie starts swirling in the middle of the room. And it starts picking up all sorts of things: popcorn, bags, trash, paper. And as it swirls for a couple seconds, it starts gusting towards the wall and it goes out the other emergency exit door. And as soon as the gust of wind carries all that debris out, the lights turn back on. And all the parents are looking at each other going, ooh, crazy, scary, as if someone set it up. But in hindsight, even being a 9-year-old, I've always been a very mentally competent person. And what I know now is that is something that without a Hollywood budget cannot be orchestrated at all. And she said that he wasn't feeling well and that he's kind of been like quiet and like in his own room. I don't know if it came with instructions when he took it from his brother's closet or whatever, but we go. Back down, we were taking our hands off and picking our noses, whatever. Candles. I'm talking like scented candles. Later that night, he was teasing, saying we should go back up there and we should do a Ouija board. We should do a Ouija board. And it was a Saturday night, so we decided that we were going to go ahead and do it. We told our parents that we were staying the night at each other's houses. Very common thing growing up. I'm sure a lot of you understand what I'm talking about. So that way we were kind of accounted for, and we took the Ouija board and a handful of candles. I'm talking like scented candles and stick candles and tiny little candles left over from Halloween for jack-o'-lanterns. And we took them into the middle of the canyon where the horse stable was. So the oldest of us was 13, and he had brought a lighter from home so he could go ahead and light the candles. And we had no idea what to expect from this. We just kind of like sat around in a circle and we started asking questions. We were getting up from the circle, sitting back.
Parents, watch your kids. Back in the day, they used to just let us just do whatever the fuck we wanted to do. Like, you can tell he older. He probably a millennial. watch your kids. Don't just let them be roaming around doing stupid shit. Like, what is he doing? Like, what are we doing?
Down, we were taking our hands off and picking our noses, whatever the hell we were doing. There were 4 of us. 3 of us sat in the circle and participated, and the sister of one of my friends sat outside of it because she was too afraid to participate based on things she'd heard from her older siblings and things she'd seen on TV. And we decided that we were going to do our first ever Ouija board seance. So we sat there and we asked questions. Are you Native American? Did you die here? Were you involved in any battles? And this went on for like 20, 30 minutes. We were getting up out of the circle, coming back, like nothing official. We didn't know the rules of the board. The board was extremely old. I don't know if it came with instructions when he took it from his brother's closet or whatever, but it definitely wasn't present inside the box. So as we do the Ouija board, we're starting to all like get a little bit more scared, a little bit more on edge, and we decided to call it quits and blow the candles out. So this is where it gets really heavy, and this is where it becomes hard for me to talk about. And it's one of those things where every time I tell the story, I won't want to say that I start crying, but like it's almost like I can't control the water coming from my face. So I can't attribute exactly this event to it. It was just too close afterwards. It was too close afterwards for me not to think that it might have had something to do with it. Another friend that I was with, he was a year younger than me, and he was there participating in the Ouija board. I'm not going to say his name for privacy. The person that is watching this, there might be 1 or 2 people that knew me growing up that is watching this. They know exactly who I'm talking about. We left, and basically when we left and we went back to my house, he was quiet. He wasn't really his normal, usual self, very bubbly, very active, very chattery kind of kid. He just seemed like something was off about him. This is the type of friend that I hung out with like every single day. His mom would take us to the skate park. We would go pretty much everywhere together. We would lie for each other to make sure that our bases were covered. Monday came around, and at school I was looking for him and I didn't see him. So I called his house and I asked his mom, and she said that he wasn't feeling well and that he's kind of been like quiet and like in his own room, and she doesn't know what happened. She asked me a bunch of questions with what had happened over the weekend. And like, I obviously was scared. I wasn't going to tell her like, hey, we lied and said we were staying at night at each other's houses, and we took a Ouija board from so-and-so's older brother, and we went and played with it on Indian burial ground in the middle of the canyon we weren't supposed to be at.
What the hell? So they took the Ouija board to the canyon at the Indian burial ground. They were doing too much. Like, even if they didn't take a Ouija board, the Indian burial ground alone was just wow.
Exactly.
Man, people be doing too much. Let's go.
In the middle of the night. Again, this is one of those like really heavy situations because you have to understand the mental state someone's in, especially at that young of an age, to be able to do something like this. So a few days went by, and I still hadn't had any contact with him. I'm already starting to feel it. I hadn't had any contact with him. And it was Tuesday, it was Wednesday, it was Thursday, it was Friday. I hadn't spoken at all. A couple of weeks go by, and we find out that he
oh my God.
is just so profound to me. It's like this is a time in life where there should really be no stress. You're a kid, what could possibly be affecting you in that kind of way at that young of an age? Like, we didn't hear anything from his mom. I mean, rightfully so. Like, she's probably traumatized and extremely sad, as all of us were. But something intuitive inside of me, my intuition was saying that it had something to do with what we had done in the canyon that night. And for many, many years, I took a lot of responsibility for it. I thought I saw him as a person that looked up to me as a role model. And the older friend that we were with, he would look to us for like guidance and look up to us. And I think as an adult, I understand how much more powerful and profound that really is.
Wow, that is sad. You know, some of these spirits that are earthbound, they're here because they didn't probably work through their trauma, and they're just reliving it all the time. And sometimes, unmistakably, they might find another human, and they might, go into them, or they might take that feeling and put onto the other human. And now they're experiencing
probably something horrifying.
Yeah, yeah, for him to do that, that's what probably happened. It's a lot of stories like that people all of a sudden people be feeling these feelings. Even like when people be doing like the organ transfers
Mm-hmm.
and they take it from one body to the next body, some people still feel the other person's emotions and everything that they felt when that
Yeah.
organ was in their body.
I mean, so we didn't heard several stories of people that fooling around with it. You know what I'm saying? And so my question is like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it open for the audience. I mean, is it demonic? Is it your higher self, subconscious? Is this something more? You know? I mean, if you take it over a grave site, you know, and fool around, like, well, you mess around and find out. And one big thing I want to say is that a lot of time these are young kids that are fooling around with this stuff, this energy. Parents need to be watching their kids and what they are involving themselves in. I don't even know why the people even still have these. Do they still have these in houses? You know?
No, you gotta go to the store and buy it. But I would say fools rush in. Any fool will just rush in. So fools rush in. The adept will learn, protect themselves, do all this protection rituals before even messing with that. Because it's true, you're opening a door.
Mm-hmm. Any final words before I close this out?
No, this was a good show. I like this show. This was good.
Yeah, I think it was very. I mean, I hope it was informative. I mean, we even got into, and I'm gonna do a show about that. You know, men being a bad influence to younger men.
Yes.
That's gonna be my next show. I'm probably do that one tomorrow because I mean, think about how many young men. Because that guy probably would have never had an experience with a Ouija board if he wasn't influenced by his older cousins and older relatives to involve himself in armed robbery and but he encounters this Ouija board in prison, ends up having to spend more time and some kind of opened up some kind of demonic thing or whatever with this thing called Papa. Child, it gets weird.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that being said, much love, guys. I'm gonna cleanse myself after this live stream because
facts. All right, DJ, thank you for having me. I'm gonna drop.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Much love, guys. Peace, peace, peace.
Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah. See if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place.